Hey, what's up, guys? Tuki here, back again with another episode of A Nation United, Finland edition with the Espoo Eagles, and today we take on the New Jersey Devils in the second round of the playoffs, although, before we get down to business, I have this to say. There is never a fun time to end a series, because if you're winning, you want to see if the team can keep winning. If you're losing, you want to keep the hopes alive that you're going to be able to win at some point, and then, while you've won, you might as well go for another one. Unfortunately, with this, of course, NHL 20 is very much, close. It's on the horizon. We're almost at the end of July already. It's absolutely insane. So you factor that in, of course, for the most part with roster editing, I'm done with that for the year, and I've kind of set the stage for where I want it to be heading into NHL 20, and it'll be interesting to see a franchise mode, of course, with the new rosters, of course, keeping everything up to date at the free agency, which means that this and the Carolina series are very much getting close to the end. When is the end? That is up to the team that we have built. We will follow this team for as long as they last. In the last episode, we beat the New York Islanders when we definitely should not have. And now, we follow this team until either they win the Stanley Cup this year, or they lose, and we call it a day. The thing is with this team, in terms of goaltending, we continue on with one of these two. And obviously, Hakkarainen has been the more impressive of the two thus far this postseason, but there really aren't any younger options that are out there. Defensively, this is about as good of a defensive core as we can build at the moment, and any prospects that we have outside of Ramo, they're still a few years away, Viitanen, Piesman, and Nurminen, and there's no guarantees that they're actually going to be that good. Forward-wise, we do have younger options still like Ludman, Jokinen. It would pretty much be more of the same if we were to follow along. And I say it all the time, but maybe on stream or something, if I really want to, I'll play another couple of seasons and upload the results like I've been doing with Anaheim, Edmonton. We had a Buffalo run earlier this year and the Arizona run that we just uploaded yesterday. So we'll see what happens. But in terms of standard episodes following along, we have until this team either wins or fails, and then we'll be looking to move on to a new challenge. So when it comes to the team, obviously we're leaving it as is. The team that beat the Islanders. I'm intrigued to see if the top line can continue to perform at such a high level. The addition of Tommy Kiprusoff was huge for us to actually go on and win. The third line had done pretty well as well. Unlike when, say, Scott Darling bailed out the Chicago Blackhawks in the playoffs one time, and then Corey Crawford took back over to start the next round, that will not be happening here. Hakkarainen has the crease until he shouldn't, basically, is what that comes down to. So I'm intrigued to see what version of the Finns we get today. Will we get the world beaters that managed to overcome the Islanders, or will we get the team that has consistently failed us in the playoffs? A team that has lost, granted, not this version of the team, but a team that has lost in the Stanley Cup Final. Lost in the Cup Final in back-to-back seasons, of course. This is the team that we are up against, thank God. Unlike in the Hurricane series, we do not have to deal with Jack Hughes, but we shall see how big of a threat they pose. You still have Taylor Hall at 38 years old, next to Kirby Dach at 92, and Mats Bergqvist, 6 points in the first round, former 17th overall pick in 2025. Second line, Jesper Bratt's there, Nico Hischier, and Martin Kaut. Third line of Tomas Hertl at 36 years old, Jarrett Anderson Dolan, and Taylor Fedoruk. And the fourth line, Mason Appleton, John Quinville, and Nathan Bastian. Pretty damn good. The one guy under an 80 they have as their fourth line center. It's pretty good. You have two fourth liners that could be on the third line. It's formidable. And defensively, it's not bad. It's not amazing. They don't have a true number two defenseman. But you do have Kirill Nesterov, who was a 6th-round pick of theirs, next to Travis Dermott. Second pairing is Nikita Habibulin, who was a 7th-round pick of the Leafs in 2019, next to Derek Pouliot. And Will Butcher is alongside Brandon Montour. The goaltender is Caleb Vigilante, the Vigilante. 909 save percentage in the first round, so he wasn't great, but if he turns it on, we could be in that much more trouble because they did, of course, get out of the first round. Colton Bugner and Santini as the healthy scratches. Will this series end right here today? That is the question. Or will we beat the Devils and punch our ticket to face either Buffalo or Ottawa in the Eastern Conference Final? Let's find out. Is this the final series for the Eagles? Here we go. First period of Game 1, and it's an offensive start to this series, for lack of a better term. Virtanen scores under 5 minutes in. Less than a minute later, Anderson Dolan ties it. Kiprusoff makes it 2-1. Less than 2 minutes later, Quenneville ties it. And then just over a minute after, Brad Lambert restores the lead. It's 3-2. 17 shots to 8 in our favor, but only up by 1. Not a great start for either goaltender. Second period is scoreless, which is good news for us, and that brings us to the third. We need an insurance goal or two, I'm sure, and we need at least one. Martin Kaut ties the game. We're unable to capitalize on a follow-up power play. That brings us to halfway point of the period where Habibulin scores. The Devils have the lead 4-3, and the offense has been stifled. 3.5 minutes left. Are we going to overtime? Not looking like it, and no, we are not. 48 shots to 26, but we lose 4-3 in Game 1. A very disappointing result. Vigilante the first star, which is brutal. And yeah, just defensively, goaltending-wise, wasn't what we needed on that attempt. But obviously, you would hope the offense could have put up a little bit more in terms of goals when they had that many shots. Hakkarainen will be given another chance. A loss here, though, and we might be looking at bringing Laxo back. And who knows, at this point, it might be for the best to bring back that defeatist attitude, because this game clearly doesn't want this series to end on a positive note. So, I don't know, we'll see. First period of Game 2 is scoreless. Second period is not. The Devils have the lead. We have been shut out in 4 straight periods of play since the 3 goals in the opening 20 minutes of Game 1. Taylor Hall scored. We go to the third, where I honestly don't like our chances. Esa Jokela scores, and Nathan Bastian gets it right back. Power play for the Devils. They can't convert. 11.5 to go, down by 1. We need another goal here, but I don't think we're going to get it. We can't beat Vigilante, can we? We can't. Kirby Dach, empty netter. We have scored 1 goal in the last 5 periods of play. The Devils take both games at home to start. You cannot fault Hakkarainen, but the offense just hasn't had it. We run into a goalie who wasn't exactly on point in the first round, but the Devils are let off the hook, and now he decides to find his game. If we lose Game 3, we're done. We're done. And it would be an absolutely brutal way to see this end. The middle 6, I mean, everybody's gotten ripped apart. We have to change something here. And when it comes to the forwards, I mean, we do have options. So, in terms of how people have done, I mean, Hämäläinen at least has an even rating. Not much, of course, in terms of points. Kapanen's been horrible, which is kind of shocking that Kapanen's been that bad. Piranez has had a bit of an offensive touch, but defensively it's been horrific. Yeah, the 2 goals, yeah, I'd still probably put Lamala ahead of Koivula, but I'd still probably rank Hämäläinen ahead, despite the lack of points. He at least has the even rating. Nornan, 6 assists, but a -2. 6 points for Asplund. And again, Kapanen and Jokinen just haven't really been getting it done. So, I think what we're going to do, We're going to sit Lumala and Koivula. We're going to bring Borgstrom and Louis in here. We'll go best lines at this point. But we're going to bring back Borgstrom and Samu Louis into the lineup and see if they can do anything. That top line will obviously stay the same. Who has the best face-off ratings? We had an 81, a 94, and an 85. So we will be going. I know Samu Louis was a little bit disappointing through the first round, but we'll bring him back on the fourth line, I think. Actually, we'll leave that as it was with best lines. And from there, tough call. Tough call. Kipper's obviously been solid. Asplund is 6 points. Kapanen's been a bit quiet. Perhaps, I mean, Piernez on the third line, or on the fourth line is fine. I just don't know what to do with Borgstrom. I mean, Borgstrom and Hämäläinen have at least been okay. I think Kapanen's getting dropped down to that fourth line. And in terms of shooting, he's alright to be on that offside. We'll go Borgstrom and Hämäläinen on the same line, and next to him, I mean, 6 points for Asplund, 6 points there, the 3 goals for Jokinen. Maybe we go with something like this, which I don't completely hate, but man, do we need that top line to wake up. They cannot afford to disappear on us the rest of the way, or we're in a lot of trouble. And unfortunately, we don't have too many defensemen that have positive ratings for us. The -2 there, the -2 there, and then Hikola and Risto just haven't been getting it done. So we will reunite Kravainen and Kuka. And honestly, I'm going to break up that top pairing. Let's go with Virtanen and Risto, Kravainen and Kuka on the third pairing, and we'll have Sarenheimo and Hikola. The goaltender, still going to be Hämäläinen out of desperation. He's still been good. He bounced back from that relatively disappointing week one, or game one effort. Week one, I wish. Wish we still had a full season to go. Game 3, it's a must-win, or this series is, hanging off the edge by a fingertip at this point. First period, 2-1 lead. Taylor Hall gets the opening goal. Ludman and Kippersoff, though, restore or get us the lead and extend the lead. 15 shots to 6. And we finally get some offense, but we can't afford to have it end there. Second period, it's scoreless. That's not great. It was good for us in game 1. Not so good for us here. We go to the third. Will the Devils be able to pull off a similar comeback like they did in game 1? If they get the next goal, I'm going to be extremely nervous. Power play chance for them. An extended power play goes to waste. They get another one. That also goes to waste, and we're over the halfway point. Can we please score a goal? Please score a goal. Under 5 minutes left. Can we hold on? Please. We do. A tremendous effort from Hämäläinen to keep this series alive. 26 saves for him. We were pretty close in terms of total shots. 29 to 27. They bounced back to outshoot us over the last 2 periods of play, but we hold on to get the win. The home team has yet to lose, a common trend that we have seen through so many playoff battles with this team, and that brings us to a very important game 4. The Sabres also have a 2-1 series lead over the Sens, of course. It'll be Hämäläinen, .936 save percentage for him in this postseason thus far. And we will hope that he can lead us to victory here. Otherwise, we'll be facing elimination back in New Jersey for Game 5. So let's see what we can do. First period of Game 4, and it's a nightmare start for us. Anderson, Dolan, and Bergqvist with the goals. 11 shots to 8 in our favor, but not great, especially from where they scored. Second period, and we get a ridiculous comeback. I can't get my hopes up just yet, but that is exactly what the doctor ordered. My God. 4 minutes apart, under 4 minutes apart, Lambert, Asplund, Kippersoff, Jokinen, 4-2 for the Eagles as we head to the third period. That is ridiculous. Between 5:06 left in the period and 1:22 left in the period. It is a 4-2 lead. We are 20 minutes away from tying this series up or completely choking it. Let's find out what happens. We need to hold on. Another goal would be great. Samu Louis makes it 5. He gets one past Swayman, who replaced Vigilante. It's 5-2. Power plays go to waste. Under 10 minutes remaining. Another power play chance for us. We're just trading power plays back and forth. Too little, too late. The Eagles have tied this series at 2 games apiece. 5-2 final in Game 4. What the hell was up with all the penalties in the third period? Just trading them back and forth. But we are able to hold on for the win. Kiprusoff does it again. Taken out for a poor regular season, but he is stepping up here in this postseason. And speaking of stepping up, Hakkarainen, another strong effort. We are tied, and we will see what happens as we head back to New Jersey for Game 5. Series on the line in more ways than one. Buffalo, 1 game away from the conference final. And in terms of the goaltender, it will be Juha Hakkarainen. Yet again, the rest of the lines will stay the same. Will the trend continue, or will we have a chance to end this series back home for Game 6? It's a win. I accidentally hit Advanced Day. I don't care. A win is a win. Screw your dramatics. 4-3 final for the Eagles. I hit over twice, rubbed my eye because there was something in it, and I didn't notice that it didn't register the 2 overhits. And of course, you can't frickin' look at what happened. But hey, it's a win. By the way, the Helsinki Hawks were bounced in 3 games. That's the first time I noticed. Poor Helsinki. It's good for them to make the playoffs, though. 4-3 final in Game 5. We break the streak of the home team winning games. We are 1 win away from the Eastern Conference final. The Buffalo Sabres await. But the question is, can we shut things down on home ice? Hakkarainen still hanging in there at that .933 save percentage. The over button's registered this time. Can we end this series? A little bit shortchanged there without that Game 5, but we'll do what we can. First period of Game 6, 2-1 New Jersey. Hall and Kaut, Ludman with our goal, 14 shots to 11 in our favor, but we are trailing on the scoreboard. Second period, we are no longer trailing. Kapanen with the goal, 35 shots through 40 minutes to their 21. And this, oh boy, this is a very big 20 minutes of hockey. Either we will win this series, punch our ticket to take on Buffalo in the conference final. We will go to overtime, where the New Jersey Devils will force Game 7 back in New Jersey. Here we go. What's it going to be? New Jersey scores early. Fedoruk, 1.5 minutes in, 1:32 if you want to be exact. Power play chance for the Finns goes to waste. And we are a tad bit nervous. Power play for the Devils also goes to waste. 6.5 left. Appleton scores. And there will be a Game 7 back in New Jersey. Kirby Dach, the empty netter. It can never be easy with this team, can it? It can just never be that easy. We go to Game 7 back at Prudential Center. You also have Chicago and Winnipeg going to Game 7 as well. This is it. The series against New Jersey's on the line. The series in general is on the line. I don't know what to make of this, you know? I just don't know. So we'll say Kapanen's at like a -5. We'll say Louis at a -2. So he's been a little bit better. Mika Pirnez, we'll say, is at a +3. If you factor in points and plus-minus, of course. Henrik Borgstrom's been solid. Hämäläinen, also solid. I'd say Borgstrom's been a little bit better. Actually, I think that third line in general is a good combination. It's just the combination of Norinen, Asplund, it just hasn't worked. But Like, Samu Louis just hasn't had it this postseason. He just hasn't. And I don't think I'm too happy with Piernez, but at the very least, Samu just hasn't had it. So the option is there for Martens or Jyrki Hakana. And Hakana, when he actually never played in the NHL, but he's looking all right. It was a Bruins draft pick. Crazy offensive awareness, relatively well-rounded. Whereas Joakim Martens at least has the playmaking ability. I think we're going to give Hakana an opportunity here out of desperation because Samu Louis, unfortunately, despite the fact he's been one of our key players over the past few seasons, it just hasn't been there for him. So Hakana will be the guy. Again, Koivula and Lamala, I just really wasn't impressed by. You could argue Joakim Lamala deserves another chance. And I don't think I necessarily disagree with that. Maybe we give Lamala one more chance. And it would be between Norrinen and Asplund, and I'd send down Norrinen. Who can play center here? Nobody well, but Asplund can play center. And then that fourth line is interesting now. Say we go, because I don't want to break up that top line. Say we go with something like this. Maybe even make that change right there to take pressure off of Lamala. And we hope for the best. Defensively, we still have some concerns, but we'll try to make the most of it. And there's no doubt it's got to be Juha Hakarainen who gets us out of this mess or goes down with the ship. Again, making sure the over's registered. This is it, guys. Game 7. Is this the end of the road? Or will we get over this hurdle? Could have said roadblock, but that's okay. First period of Game 7 is scoreless. 14 shots apiece, as even as you can get. Second period, massive advantage for New Jersey. Jokela got the opening goal. Doc, Bergqvist, Bastion with the goals. The Devils are 20 minutes away from the conference final. We, as it stand, are 20 minutes away from the end. Unless we can battle back. Here we go. Third period. Quick goal for Jokela. We're back in it. Come on, please. Please don't do the normal, oh, well, that was a quick goal and then nothing else. I can't tolerate that. Power play for the Devils. We kill it off. Power play for the Devils. We kill it off. 2:25 remaining. And of course we're going to watch this because this is it. Either they will score a goal to tie this game and we may be looking at overtime, or we're done. It is going down to the wire because of course it is. What other way was this going to go down? There was no other way. This, as is tradition, is the only way that you could look at a series potentially ending here on the road in New Jersey. Let's do this. 2:26 on the clock and we win the opening draw. Again, no offsides and no icings. As Hikala will send it around, Hobby Bullen has trouble. Gets knocked off the puck. Pouliot struggling with it, but is able to get it up to Quinville. Hobby Bullen to Appleton. He'll jump it around. Bastion battling Sarenheimo. And they come up with it. New Jersey with possession. Appleton. Back for Bastion, now Pouliot. Quick D-to-D passes. Slowly winding down the clock. One-timer, save by Hakarainen with 1:49 remaining. It's Jokela, Lambert, and Ludman out there. Can they come up with the goal to tie this game? Face-off won by Lambert. Here's Ludman. We need something special here. Here's Jokela. Shot, save, gets his own rebound. Dishes it back to the point. Ristolainen and Jokela. Playing pass. Hall chasing Risto, who still has it. Ristolainen, the veteran, battling. In front, Ludman. Nowhere to go. Back for Risto. Ristolainen loses it to Dermott. We're in a little bit of trouble here. Here come the Devils. Drop back for Nesterov. Shot saved by Hakkarainen. Bergqvist can't get to the rebound. Here goes Ristolainen. Here goes Ristolainen. Shot goes wide. Nesterov. We got to get these settings changed. Shot and a save by Vigilante. Borgstrom for Heikkila. Nearly turns it over. 50 seconds left. Heikkila again. Borgstrom looking. Jokinen can't get a shot off on Vigilante. We will absolutely be calling a timeout here. She'll be able to see the save by Hakkarainen more than likely. I mean, there's no other way to go about this. Pull the goalie, call a timeout. Top line will be out there. Here we go. But not the top defense pairing. Big face-off. Won by Nico Hischier. Hobby Bullen back to Hischier, now Bratt. Jesper Bratt, shot goes wide. Recovered by Heikkila, now Sarenheimo. Lambert for Jokela. Tommy Ludman's in. Shot saved by Vigilante. Ludman still battles. Kapanen with pressure. Slap shot, deflection bid. Vigilante is there. He makes the save. 20.4 on the clock as we are down to the wire. We are down to the wire. 20 seconds left potentially in this series. Another defensive zone draw one. Jokela battling Hischier for it. Here's Hobby Bullen. Pass to Hischier. Nico Hischier. Can he get the shot off? Dishes it back to the point. Hobby Bullen can't get it on. Lambert dishes it up. 5 seconds. Osplund for Ludman. 2 seconds. Shot from Osplund's broken up. And that's it. I didn't think a mere 25 minutes ago or so, when I started this episode, that we would be talking about the end already. Yet here we are. The Nations series has a really interesting history in terms of success and not much success. And unfortunately, for the Finns, and I never would have thought, but for the Finns, it's going to be remembered as a series of failure. And you never would have thought we were so close on so many different occasions, but we could just never fully get over the finish line. Like I said, this team is going to be in a similar spot over the next few years where maybe we are just a year or two away. But because of the lack of elite defensemen who can actually put up points, it just doesn't seem like it's ever going to happen. Hakkarainen was strong. Vigilante was better. And it really sucks. I mean, it's tough, too, for someone like Esa Jokela, where hell of an idea to pick him up, at least. He worked out, some of the other ones not so much, but that's insane. And when you talk about the series, you know, who are the legends of the series? I don't know if there are any. You can look at guys that did very well at certain points, but at the end of the day, we never won. We will see ultimately who wins the Stanley Cup. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't extremely disappointed. Because how could you not be? We fell short again. We had 2 chances to close out the Devils, and we lost both games. Doesn't get any more disappointing than that. Especially when, again, at the start of this episode, we talk about, hey, you never know, we beat the Islanders. The Devils went on to win the Stanley Cup, which makes it that much worse, in my opinion. It doesn't make me feel better that we lost to the eventual champion. It makes me feel worse because then it makes me think that we could have steamrolled Buffalo as well and then beat whoever in the conference final or in the Stanley Cup final. New Jersey beat Buffalo in 7, another close series, but then swept Vancouver in the final. Wow. Back-to-back Stanley Cups as well for New Jersey. Gudler ends up leading the league in points and winning the Art Ross. The Hart went to Taylor Hall. The Norris to Quinn Hughes in Ottawa. Lady Bing to Dylan Genther. The Calder went to Beach in San Jose. Nico Hischier won the Conn Smythe. Luukkonen won the Vezina. And the Jennings. Selke to Kirby Doc. Ted Lindsay to Taylor Hall. And the Rocket Richard to Jack Hughes. I, again, would be lying if I said I wasn't very disappointed. More disappointed than I thought I would be. But that's the way it goes. For this series, just wasn't enough. A Nation United Finland edition goes down as a failure. The F doesn't stand for Finland, it stands for failure. Oh, God, you look at the Capo Caco debacle at the very start of this, some of the struggles we had, how close we were at certain points, and it just never happened for us. Guys, I thank you very much for watching this series, for supporting this series and the channel. Means the world to me. But god damn it, I wanted this series to go well. And needless to say, when we see the next Nations series, whether it be Nations United or a Nation United, whether that be with Russia, Canada, whoever else we haven't used already, the pressure's going to be on for that team to find success. It's almost a must because, again, I think we're batting 500. I think we're batting 500 in terms of success rate in these series. I'm not certain. You could be certain though if you go back and of course and check out the other episodes of the other series in the Nations series. Of course, the original OG Nations United, the Sweden run, the US run. I'm gonna miss some of these players. I'm intrigued to see just how good Tommy Ludman will be at the end of the day. Maybe we will revisit this because Tony Narena's right there. And, the issue, of course, though, has never been offensive firepower. The issue has more so been defense and getting players who can actually put up points. And, it hasn't been great. There are some players who might be able to do something. Of course, we got a couple of medium sixes there in terms of players in general. From Liga, though, it's not great. There still isn't any defensive help, and I just don't see how it's going to happen. But there is another goaltender who might eventually be good, although it'll probably take him forever to develop. So, for now, we say goodbye to this. Although, again, might revisit it on stream, and if I do, of course, I'll make sure to upload it here as well. Thank you very much for supporting this series, as I said. And I'll see you guys soon for the start of a new adventure. But, god damn it, Finland. Just couldn't get it done.